Welcome to Conversations with Sekani, a podcast for people in their 20s who are trying to figure out life and not get lost along the way. Today's guest is Eric Hoffman, a former trial attorney who spent 20 years in the courtroom before making a decision most people in his position wouldn't. He walked away from a successful legal career to build a company from scratch. A 47-year-old, Eric founded the AI Esquire, a legal tech company focused on solving a problem he experienced firsthand. Solo and small law firms drowning in administrative work. His company created KAY, an AI-powered voice receptionist that answers calls, qualify leads, and book consultations so lawyers don't miss opportunities while they are busy practicing law. Eric is also the author of The Runway Is Behind You, a book challenging the myth that entrepreneurship belongs only to the young. His argument is simple. The career you've always built may actually be the preparation for what you're meant to build next. Eric, welcome to Conversations in Sekani. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Sekani. It's great to be here.
All right. So, while I was, saying your intro, I feel like I mispronounced some words, right? So,
No, you did actually you did fantastic. It sounded good to me.
oh, okay. Thank
Yeah.
God I did. All right. So yeah, talking about, conversations, walking away from success, right? You weren't living failure, you were living success. So what made you realize it was time to, walk away from a 20-year legal career?
It's a very good way you put it. There are two different things. There's success and then there's fulfillment. I believe being in your career should provide you with both. And I'm a very big believer that you should bounce out of bed in the morning and want to go to work. A lot of people think I'm crazy for thinking that, but and I did feel that way in law for quite a while. But after some time, I felt like there was a few parts of my character that weren't being uh, used, I guess, in my work. I love technology, and I think once AI came out and everyone was using it, and it had all this promise for this great new future and all these new tools, I was excited to bring it to my firm, and I told everyone about it. And all the lawyers were kind of resistant to it. They weren't very impressed. Lawyers tend to be a little old fashioned, and that's not a bad thing. It's just the way it is. Um, so I said, I looked down the line, I said, in the next 9 years, 10 years, am I going to be still doing a job that's not going to let me take part in this exciting development, this AI thing? And
Mm,
I said to myself, I feel like I would regret not giving it a try, giving it a
mm,
shot. So I made the decision to step away and make the AI Esquire, which I felt would be good because I would reduce the nervousness that the attorneys had when switching to technology, because I'm a lawyer myself. So I thought myself delivering the message might make it a little easier for them to make the switch. But so I made that change.
Thinking about it now, I think it's amazing because now, like when I was, giving your intro, I read a part that says you created this AI for the purpose of like bookings and answering. The AI can answer calls, qualify leads, and book consultations. And these things, without the AI, you would have to be the one to do it yourself, right? And let's say, for instance, you're busy practicing law, you would miss those opportunities. You can't do both at once. So this AI, I think it's actually helping. It is doing more good than harm, actually. So yeah,
That's good to
so
know. I'm glad.
yeah, it's actually, you should be able to make money while doing something else. You don't have to always. I feel like you understand what I mean,
I,
right?
I understand completely what you mean. And that was the goal, Sakani. I mean, I wanted to do something that would be beneficial to obviously financially so I could pay my bills and but also help the lawyers make this switch that they seem nervous to make, meaning, adopt this new technology. So yeah, I thank you for saying that. I hope it is a positive company and a positive thing that we do. We're certainly trying to do that.
I think there's definitely a positive one actually. And yes, talking about like building from lived experience, right? You created K because you personally experienced the problem. So how did being a practicing attorney shape the product?
Oh boy. So there, lawyers, we focused on we saw a problem with small firm attorneys, pardon me, not small attorneys, um, small firm or solo attorneys. Like you mentioned, Sakani, they wear many hats. They have to answer the phones, or maybe they have one receptionist or assistant who does. But they're running to court, they're running in and out of their office, they're doing research, they have deadlines, they have to appear in court, they have to be on conference calls and meet with clients inside the office. So they can't always be there. The phone will ring and ring again, and the front desk person might be on a call, and then another call comes in, and then it goes to voicemail. And like I do, most people don't leave voicemails anymore. So we saw that happening. I saw that with smaller firms. Larger firms tend to have bigger front desk staffs. So I said I wanted to help the smaller law firms and the solo law firms uh, fix that problem where they can answer all the calls. So my experience as an attorney, I worked in medium-sized to smaller law firms. So I got to see firsthand how difficult it could be to answer the phones all the time and in an organized way. So you can get all those leads because that's where all the business comes in and all the emergency phone calls from clients who might have gotten, who need their lawyer right away. They need to speak to someone. So I guess my work as a lawyer helped me witness that problem firsthand and decide that that's where I wanted to fit what I wanted to fix.
All right. Okay. So I don't my lights. I do it.
Oh,
So
that's okay. I thought I did something. I thought that was like one of those things when they say you're talking too much, you got to wrap it up.
Oh no, not at all, actually. Okay, so yeah, I like the fact that you went to AI, right? Because AI is taking over basically, and it's making work easier. And yeah, it's transforming many industries basically. So how is it, specifically changing the way law firms operate?
Law firms are number one. It's both the greatest thing to happen to law firms and the worst thing to happen to law firms at the same exact time. And the reason why is because it's the it fixes every problem that law firms have, which is a pile of documents this big,
Mm,
that they need to go through in the next 3 days.
mm,
That's three 24-hour work days right there. But
mm,
now they can scan them in and have them ready by lunchtime. But the problem is that violating the attorney-client privilege and confidentiality by uploading those documents to ChatGPT or to Gemini or
mm,
Claude. So if you think of it this way, if you were a client and you had a medical issue that you trusted a lawyer with, would you want them to be uploading your medical records to ChatGPT? I mean, maybe not. So there's an issue there with privacy. And then there's another issue which has become very famous, that there are glitches, there are hallucinations sometimes. So if you ask for it to write a report for you and you read that in court, this happened very famously in a few cases where a lawyer got caught presenting documents to the court that had citations to cases that didn't exist. So,
Hmm.
and the judge was like, "Excuse me, there's a big problem with what you're submitted here. Some of these cases are not real cases, or they're made up dates and so on." So that is an attorney's worst nightmare, probably. And they were punished for, they got sanctioned for doing that. So when I say it's the best thing and the worst thing, it's it does it, from answering the phones to reviewing documents to writing contracts to even making calls to reach out to clients, which is what our product does also. Um, these are wonderful things, but they have to be done in a way that respects the privacy of the clients, and then also make sure the output is checked, double checked, triple checked, and there always has to be a person, a human in the loop, they call it. They have to have a person there to review, because it's not perfect yet. It's pretty close to perfect, but we don't want to be one of these lawyers that gets caught with fake citations, by the judge. So I think it's an interesting, yin and yang kind of good and bad.
Okay, so yeah, I like the fact that you were able to put the word there should be a human in the loop, right? So yes, I feel like that's what will solve this whole problem, because obviously everything has like a pro and con. So there being a human in the loop would prevent most of those cons and then make the pros more dominant and stuff like that. So yeah, talking about like your runway concept, right? So you say a career isn't a detour from entrepreneurship, it's the runway. So what does that mean actually?
Oh, yeah. So it's a great image to me. I love it. It was actually something a friend of mine told me, um, that I made them feel like the runway was behind them and you can take off at a later age. And I kind of liked it, and it clearly it means that what you've been doing before is a straight path to where you are, and it will cause you to lift off at the right time. And yeah, correct. It's not a detour. It's not some crooked line going back and forth. And there is no back and forth. I mean, if you're going in a way that makes you feel fulfilled, and you feel like you're in the right place, then you're going straight forward towards your goal and towards your destiny and what you're supposed to be. And that means the runway is behind you, and you will take off, just like a plane, and a straight line. So yeah, it's not a detour or turning or U-turn. The runway's behind you, and you're just moving on.
Okay. All right. So yeah, thank you for that one actually. And yes, my podcast, right, is for young adults who are trying to, gain clarity. These adults may also include, attorneys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need you to give advice to people at like a career crossroads. So for someone who is listening, but they feel stuck between stability and calling to build something new, what would you tell them?
So everything has to be done as much as it sounds like a fairy tale where you can just jump into something else and have it be a dream. You must have a plan and you must do it gradually. But I didn't just one day say, hey, tomorrow, hey, I quit my job, get up, walk out, and, started a company. It took me a lot of conversations with my family, long nights just thinking on my own. I had to look at financial resources and do a lot of market research into whether there was an actual opportunity to make a business like this. So my point is if you're in a position, there's a few things I'd like to say, maybe simply, is that first thing is you need to know that it's okay to feel that way. Like and that's how you grow. And there you'll notice people in life who don't listen to that voice and that passion inside them, and they get stuck in a trap where they not happy with work. They kind of maybe they're not taking care of their own health as much. They're a little maybe mentally, their mood changes and it's not as positive, and they kind of don't become the person they want to be. Um, you can't, you need to realize it's okay and normal to change. Those are steps that you take moving forward. Like I said, the runway is behind you. Things are all, it might not look like a straight path, but it is a straight path to you taking off. So number one is it's okay to feel that you want to change. That's actually usually it's growth. Number two, when you feel that way, it's important to not just say, "Oh, I heard this guy on a podcast just left his job and became an entrepreneur." I didn't do it like that. I did it through a lot of research, time, thought, and planning. So make sure you have a very good plan and you do it smartly. And then three is kind of related to one. Um, I think you will. I think it's very difficult if you're following your passion and something inside you. I think it's very hard that to have it turn out to be a bad decision. I think it will be a good decision, and you should feel confident that if you're following something inside you that's telling you you need more, you need something different, you need a greater challenge, you need to change from law to tech, like I did. Again, as long as you plan it correctly, I am very confident that you'll be happier in the end. So as long as it's done properly, my third point would be you're usually going to end up happier. It won't be easy, but you will be happier if you do listen to your gut feeling.
So, yeah, it's important to know it will not be easy, but listening to your gut feeling will, just listen to it. No, it's not going to be easy, but it will turn out well at the end of the day. So, yeah,
No,
thank you for that
definitely not easy. It's
one.
definitely
All
not
right.
easy.
Okay, so thank you so much. This has been amazing. And it brings us to the final segment of my podcast. It's called the rapid fire segment.
Oh
So,
no. Okay, I know this. All right, heard this one. Okay, my turn.
all right. So, starting now, entrepreneurship is
It's an art form, I believe. It's expression and it's an art form.
okay. And yeah, midlife founders have
An advantage over younger founders because of experience, financial resources, and also decision making. I think we've made enough mistakes to learn the right decisions when we see them.
okay. And yes, risk teaches us
who you really are as a person, where your strengths lie.
Mm,
Risk teaches you where your strengths lie and where your weaknesses lie, because when you take risks, you're going to find some very big weaknesses. Like I
mm,
can tell a story, one or two, that I learned I was very bad at one or two
mm,
things. But then I also learned that I was very, very, very good at some things that I didn't know I was good at. So taking a risk puts everything on the line, and it really brings out parts of your character you might not have ever seen before.
All right. And yes, AI will change law by
Oh, it'll make law a little bit more of a commodity, because meaning, put it this way, clients are going to expect a lot more from their attorneys, because the norm now is going to be we can review 800-page contracts in one day now. So using these tools. So I believe that law is going to get more productive, and we're going to serve our clients better. But clients are going to expect a lot more from attorneys too. So that's going to be another change.
okay. And yes, finally, your runway is
My runway is, my runway was leading me towards becoming an entrepreneur. And it, my runway is a very complicated path that, although it was straight, had a lot of bumps in the road. Just because it's a straight runway doesn't mean it's smooth. So I'll say my runway is a bumpy, complicated road that has led me to be somewhere that I've never been happier. So uh, all the bumps and turbulence on the road were worth it.
yes. Thank you so much, Eric. This has been amazing. And where can listeners get to know more about you and what you do?
Yeah, I got a great website for my company, which is AI Esquire.io, AIESQUIRE.io. And I'm Eric at AIEsquire.io. If you email me and say that you heard me on the podcast, I'm going to send you my book for free. If you want it, you can just mention that, and I'd be happy to send you my book at no cost, so you can read about what I think about all these things we've discussed today. So, yeah, I'd love to hear from anybody who's listening.
I can ask for the book, right?
Well, yeah, I won't just send it to you. I won't force you to read it. But if you want
Hey,
it, just
I want the
mention.
book. I do want it actually. So
Oh,
yes,
I'll send you one. Yeah,
all
just
right.
you get one.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Eric. And to my listeners, thanks for tuning into Conversations with Sekani. If this episode sparked something in you, make sure to share to someone you think might need this. And also subscribe so you don't miss out on new episodes. Thank you, Eric. I would love your book, right? I'll be
Okay,
waiting for it.
I'll write to you, and I'll get your address.
All right. Thank you
All
so much.
right. All
Do
right.
have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
Bye.